Therian. Conan on top going to be running Kangaskhan, Landorus Therian, Heatran, Amoonguss, Gardevoir, and Cresselia.
Yeah, so another Gardevoir team looks like, he does have that Kangaskhan too. I don't know if it's two modes or maybe it is a regular Gardevoir, more like what we saw last season. What looks like pretty clearly a Charizard team. No Venusaur on it, but probably still that bulky Moonlight Cresselia. Ferrothorn is a different grass type. Ferrothorn's a great answer for a lot of things on Conan's team. It'll be great against Kangaskhan, Gardevoir, Amoonguss, Cresselia. So if he can get Heatran knocked out, Ferrothorn could really be big in this match. Of course, if Heatran sticks around and is on the field consistently, Ferrothorn won't ever be able to do much. So denying substitutes, things like that, to that Heatran will help Ferrothorn a lot if he chooses to bring it.
And Charizard Y is still probably the more popular. It is definitely the more popular Charizard variant. So I wouldn't be surprised right there to just...
I think it's actually even more, relative to Charizard, actually even more common this season than last. The other thing here is picking the Mega could be really important because I think Scrafty will be great, obviously, if he has Kangaskhan. But if he brings that Gardevoir, you don't want Scrafty. And so here, even in Team Preview, Colten really needs to try to guess what Mega he's going to be up against and choose whether to bring that Scrafty or not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things, if you run dual Megas, you're never sure what mode that the opponent will bring. That's one of the advantages of dual Mega, but then at the same time, you have that option if you have that dual Mega.
Yeah.
You don't know which one might be the best, right? So you're always just wondering...
I do expect it'll be the Gardevoir, though. Having it against Hydreigon Scrafty, it'll have a little bit of trouble with the Charizard, a lot of trouble with the Ferrothorn, but those can be worked through with Heatran.
Both players are currently 3-0 right now, so going to be interested to see how this is going to affect the dynamic of battle. Going into the leads right now, we have Landorus Therian and Hydreigon out for Colten's side, and Heatran and Gardevoir are going to be out on Conan's side. We see Gardevoir pick up a Levitate, kind of useful, kind of going to be able to dodge the Earthquake if it really needs to, right? Hydreigon, of course, going to put some pressure on that Heatran. Hydreigon usually does carry Earth Power just for situations just like this.
Yeah, we did see on stream already the one non-Earth Power Hydreigon has a lot of other useful options of moves, and sometimes Earth Power isn't one you choose to go for. We do already see the Gardevoir in the field, so I don't know if that means there's no Kangaskhan or if we're going to see both this game. But that's useful information. Colten already looking forward into this game.
There's a lot of Heatran counters out there, so maybe Colten has realized that the way for him to deal with Conan seems to just get rid of Heatran, like you said earlier. Conan, of course, sees that, going to retreat his Heatran into his own Landorus Therian to go for Intimidate onto Colten's own Landorus Therian, and Landorus Therian is the Pokemon that I'm going to be saying a lot of today.
Yeah, with two possible ground moves coming towards the Heatran, that's a pretty easy switch in, especially getting the Intimidate that'll weaken that Earthquake against Gardevoir for Colten. Great switch, pretty easy one to choose, but easy switches are always the best.
And we see Gardevoir going to go ahead and protect itself after going Mega. Landorus Therian from Rookie Slayer side going to go fire off a Rock Slide, content with just doing a little damage here and there, possibly flinching things. Of course, maybe he saw the Heatran either switching out, or maybe he thought that the Heatran was going to switch in or something like that. Or not switch in, but protect itself or something.
Yeah. Didn't go for the Earthquake. Must not have been too concerned with that Heatran. It was so threatened that guessing it to leave is a pretty good guess. We're good. So yeah, looking at this turn, I think now Gardevoir is pretty freely going to get off a Hyper Voice here, and that's going to be bad news for that Hydreigon that stays on the field. But it's also the best damage option for.
We see Landorus Therian switch out right now from Colten's side, going straight into the Ferrothorn, which is going to be so crucial. Ferrothorn's going to exert so much pressure on that Gardevoir, as Hydreigon going to go ahead and protect itself. Landorus Therian going to go ahead and go for the U-turn into the Ferrothorn slot, most likely going to take a lot of damage from Iron Barbs back to himself. Does it carry the Rocky Helmet or leftovers? Going to carry the leftovers most likely this game.
Yeah.
Now he has to find out a good switch. Heatran wouldn't be too bad of a switch right now, I think.
Yeah, no, Heat Train, this would be a good time to have it come back in, especially if this Hyper Voice is going to come in.
We do see Ferrothorn heal itself from the leftovers as Hydreigon. I didn't get a chance to catch what it did there. Yeah, I mean, it's... If Hydreigon has something for that Heat Ran, it definitely makes the matchup a little bit easier for Colten, right? Conan right now knows he needs to preserve that Heat Ran to take on this Ferrothorn, and I'm pretty sure Colten will not give away Ferrothorn this easily. Most likely expect to switch to Charizard would make sense. Even
right now, Colton's in a bad spot with both Pokemon, though. He can't afford a Hyper Voice or a Heat Wave. May have to double switch. He's already protected with Hydreigon. Could protect with Ferrothorn and switch one, but really in a tough spot. All the momentum's on Conan's side with offense he has.
Alright, so we do see the Hyper Voice go off, and that's going to do damage to both Hydreigon and Ferrothorn, so that's unfortunate right there for Colten.
Yeah, I think surprised Colten decided to stay. He stayed in with both. I guess he decided he couldn't afford the double switch in that position, but down 4-2 really quickly.
Right, and Ferrothorn now going to have problems since it's knocked out.
Yeah, well, most of them have problems once they're knocked out.
How's it going to come in and do work to that Gardevoir if it's knocked out? We do see Landorus come in, and we do also see Charizard, so at least we know Colton's going to get 5 turns of clear skies, sunlight.
Landorus Charizard's a great pair to bring in here. Obviously, right now, Earthquake, maybe we don't know about the Shuka on Conan side, but Heat Wave, Earthquake probably picks up the KO on Gardevoir. The Heat Wave will do good damage to Landorus if it comes in. This isn't the worst 2 to have to bring in, but of course, even the best 2 seem bad when you're down this far.
Yeah, an Earthquake from Landorus. Most likely Heat Ran's going to switch out.
I would say Heat Ran probably... Well, Heat Ran may stay
Gardevoir
I think Gardevoir will go into Landorus. Heat Ran might try to survive the Earthquake with Shuka. If it gets Flash Fire and Sun boosted on its own Heat Wave, could do a giant chunk to Colton's Landorus, which could be game-changing.
Right, absolutely. Colton's... I wouldn't say Colton's out of it just yet. I mean, he still has chances. Charizard going to go Mega, going to go Charizard Y. It depends what item Conan has. We haven't even seen the item yet. It could be Shuka, it might not be Shuka. We never know. But no switches this turn from Conan, so probably expect some protects. We do see the Heat Ran protect here, and possibly an Earthquake and a Heat Wave. Landorus goes for the Superpower and the Heat Ran. No, Gardevoir is going to get off the Hyper Voice right there. So we see that Gardevoir is going to be outspeeding Charizard from now on. Charizard goes straight for the Overheat onto the Gardevoir slot. I don't necessarily agree with that move. It does pick up a knockout. That's great. But
yeah, I think
you've locked yourself into Superpower.
And you're gonna have trouble. Well, you weren't Earthquake when doing the Landorus either, but you've gone with 2 stat lowering attacks. Charizard's at -2 special attack. Once you land a Superpower, it'll be at -1 attack, -1 defense. We already saw that.
The Heat Ran has Air Balloon.
We already saw that Superpower was faster, and so it will be able to be Rage Powdered away. Mungus would probably then go down to an Overheat, but that would allow a Heat Wave from this Heat Ran. We haven't even gone to the Landorus yet. I do think Mungus won't expect to live the turn, so it needs to just Rage Powder on the turn it can and move the Superpower away.
Mungus does go for the Rage Powder, going to draw away the Superpower, going to draw away the Overheat, most likely that's what Charizard's going to do. Superpower targets down the Mungus, does minimal damage, but the important thing is that it's going to drop its attack stat, so now Superpower won't even knock out the Heat Ran.
And Rocky Helmet.
Charizard does get to go for the Overheat into the Mungus slot. I still don't think that's going to be a knockout.
That's Sun boosted.
Yeah, no, but maybe the Mungus is a very special.
Well, what's big here is now Heat Ran will knock out Landorus with this, unless there's a Heat Wave miss. There's no way for Charizard at -4 special attack, especially to take down this Heat Ran. Conan wins.
Unfortunate to see that happen. I mean, Colton's a solid player, I think. Conan, of course, showing that he is also a solid player as well. We see Landorus come in, most likely just going to hit Rock Slide to ensure the victory, but even then, it's difficult for Conan to really lose this. I mean, Charizard has nothing that can touch that Heat Ran.
Yeah, we saw this game that you're kind of playing with fire with those 4X weak Pokemon. If you don't have good switch-ins and suddenly you see yourself facing on 2 of those things that are just clearly going to KO your Pokemon and are faster, it can be almost impossible to play out of that situation, especially when there's spread moves, so that really no switching is safe.
Absolutely. And
That's
there
what
it
happened
is.
to Colten.
Conan takes it over